host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the yearly predictions for the next year 2024 for all the rising signs. And before we will start our discussion, I wish all of you heartiest wishes and blessings of this upcoming new year. May all of your wishes come true. May you will find your purpose, and this year will bring you good wealth, health and happiness in all areas of your life. So guys, before we will jump into the customized results for this upcoming new year, customized to your Lagna, let's first try to understand how the vibe of this year collectively is going to be influencing all of us. So guys, if you remember, like at the time when I made a video for the year 2023, I mentioned this thing that from the numerology point of view, the universal year turned out to be of 7, which is a number of extremities because it is being ruled by the planet Ketu. And we all have seen that the war which took place, like Israel and this Hamas situation which we all are witnessing, so that generally tend to remain a theme in the universal year of 7. But guys, when we talk about the vibe of the 2024, the sum total of that will give you the universal year vibration of number 8, which is being governed by the planet Saturn. Second thing is that even in the transit next whole year, Saturn is going to be strengthened in the sign of Aquarius, its own Mool Trikona sign. And Saturn is going to be traveling in the majorly in the Sadbhisha Nakshatra and the Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra. Both of the nakshatra are somehow very much conducive and favorable for Saturn to manifest good results. And also guys, in one of the video, I also mentioned this thing that as per our lunar calendar calculations, this year is also the Samvatsar. It is carrying the energy of the Mars, as Mars is the ruler of this year. So definitely when we talk about the combined energy of the Mars and Saturn, so that definitely benefit all those people who are in the fields of engineering, construction, you are a builder or anything to do with the innovative work. So definitely this year will give you lot many opportunities. Apart from that, Jupiter is going to be transiting in the sign of Aries till the end of the April of 2024, and at the beginning of the May, it will transit to the sign of Taurus. So guys, one thing is for sure that because in the original Kalpurush Kundli, Aquarius is a sign of gains and Taurus is a sign of wealth. Now, as you can see that both of these two planets and these zodiac signs are going to be in a strengthened state because Saturn being in the Aquarius and Jupiter being in the Taurus. Second thing is that the transiting Ketu is now going to be getting aspected by the planet Jupiter. That in itself is a very good indication that in order for you to reap the reward of all those things which you have done, your soul has accumulated from the journey in the past so many lifetimes, this year can actually give you the results of that as well. And lastly guys, I always say this thing that whenever in the transit, if these two major planets, Jupiter and Saturn, are jointly influencing any sign, so the tendency to gain something very substantial connected with the attributes of that zodiac sign tend to remain very strong. So guys, during this year, once Jupiter will transit the sign of Taurus, Jupiter will aspect the sign of Scorpio, and Saturn is already giving its 10th aspect to the sign of Scorpio. So that in itself means that in whichsoever domain Scorpio energy is falling in your chart, you can actually achieve or accomplish something substantial pertaining to the domain of that zodiac sign and that house. So yes guys, after that now we will shift our discussion customized to that basis your ascendant, what this year is going to be bringing up for you.
So friends, now we will shift our discussion to the yearly predictions customized to your rising sign, and the approach which we will follow is very simple. I will cover all the houses, all the 12 houses of your natal chart, and looking at each house we will try to understand that how the planetary transit next year is going to be either making you vulnerable, creating some obstacles, or whether it is going to be blessing you pertaining to the attributes or matters of those houses. So guys, starting with the first house, which tells about your public image, which tells about your health, and which also tells about with how much conviction you will pursue or you will accomplish your goals next year. So the points which I have mentioned for your first house related matters are ascendant lord strengthened and also carrying the similar universal year energy is a very good indicator, very good indication for health, public image, and chasing your goals with complete conviction. Good year for domestic bliss, spiritual practices, and sudden financial opportunities. So guys, first house is always the synopsis of the whole chart. Once we will start covering all the houses, you will get to know that why I explained the gist of this year for you in this way. Now guys, when we talk about the matters of your second house, which tells about your finances, which tells about your values, which also tells about your relationship with the immediate family members. So the points which I have mentioned over here is that Rahu's presence here will demand a lot of discipline in the matters of your eating habits and complete integrity in the matters of finances, because if you will not follow complete discipline or integrity or honesty, Saturn is there in your first house monitoring you, observing you. May onwards, good time for spending on house renovation, purchase of vehicles, or organizing religious gatherings. Auspicious year for people in liquor, tobacco, tech, import-export, media, or construction businesses. Now guys, when we talk about the matters of your third house, which tells about your initiatives, which tells about your prowess, your courage, and how much support you will be able to muster up from people around you. This could be as your colleagues, this could be as your neighbors, this could be as your friends as well. So the points which I have written over here is that restraint and caution are the mantras for the execution of your plans this year, because as you can see that your ascendant lord is going to be giving its third restraining aspect to your third house. The time period till April will witness rapid progress in your projected plans. Afterward, many will suddenly experience decline in the level of motivation. Your 10th house is very empowered this year. Some substantial developments at your career will demand you to buckle up or acquire additional skills to match the pace of your work front. So guys, definitely we have to see that how your third house lord in the transit is going to be behaving or forming some Raj Yoga, getting conjunct with other planets. So in the month of March, your third house lord is going to get exalted in your 12th house. So definitely if any of your endeavors, your interests are aligned with the foreign land, the month of March will be very promising for you. In the month of April, your third house lord is going to get conjunct with Saturn right over there in your first house. So definitely guys, the kind of role which Mars plays for you, it is your third house lord, it is your 10th house lord. So that in itself means that in the month of April, no matter how much resistance you will be facing, but you will definitely demonstrate strong fighting spirit, or for doing something very groundbreaking, very path breaking, something very innovative and new, or demonstrating your exerting your authority in a very rightful way. So the month of April will be very promising for that, and nothing could be better than that. If you're already working in the fields of like innovation, technology, new age sciences, you are an entrepreneur, so the month of April will be very promising for you. In the month of May guys, as you can see that your 10th house, your third house lord is going to get conjunct with Rahu in your second house. So definitely guys, this is going to be time when your headstrongness or too much of the rage or impulse could land you in trouble. So in the month of May, you have to be very careful. In the months of July and August, your third house lord is going to be conjunct with Jupiter in your fourth house. That in itself is a good indication, specifically for all those people who are working as a professional, realtors and all. Now guys, pertaining to the matters of your fourth house, which tells about your domestic life, which tells about your contentment, which tells about luxury and all. So the points which I have mentioned over here is that from May 2024, a planet representing good luck, finances and opportunities, carrying the energies of both the houses of your finances, will enter your fourth house. So again guys, Jupiter in a way represents finances for everyone. Jupiter represents optimism for everyone. But like the way the kind of role which Mercury plays for the Leo rising, carrying the rulership of the second house of finances, 11th house of supplementary income, same is the kind of role which Jupiter placed for the Aquarius rising natives. See guys, if you will go by the planetary friendship chart, you might not find Jupiter to be playing that much important role. But in today's day and age, where we all need money, finances, wealth, more opportunities, important connection, so even for the Aquarius rising natives, Jupiter can actually be a game changer. So the points which I have written over here is that from May 2024, planet which in itself represents good luck, finances, opportunities, and it carries these two similar houses carrying the similar energy. Second house and 11th house will enter your 4th house. So for your financial boost, this year seems to be very promising. Along with that, that in itself is a very good news for any of your housing, vehicles related concerns as well, whether on a personal or on a professional level. Like the way, for example, if you are working as a realtor, it's a good news for you, or you are a first time house buyer, it's a good news for you. You deal in the sale purchase of the cars, it's a good news for you, or you want to upgrade your car, this could be a very good news for you. So in a way, pertaining to all these matters, next year seems to be carrying some very positive energy for you. Along with that guys, Saturn strengthened in 1st, Jupiter placed in the 4th is a very good news for people in public service or carrying any political aspiration. Now guys, we have to see that how your 4th house lord is going to be behaving in the transit, getting conjunct with important planets in which all months. Now as you know this thing that when we talk about your 4th house, it is a sign which the rulership of which goes to the planet Venus, which is your Yogarka planet as well. So guys, in the month of March, your 4th house lord Venus is going to be getting conjunct with Saturn in your 1st house. So it is a very good indication, as you know that your 4th house and the 9th house lord getting conjunct with your ascendant lord in the 1st house. So I can say this thing that March will prove to be very, very favorable for you for furthering your interest, like whatsoever your aspirations are. And if you want to take a chance, leap of faith, so the month of March will prove to be very favorable for you. In the month of April guys, as you can see that your 4th house lord and 9th house lord is going to get exalted in your 2nd house, and Rahu is going to amplify all these accentuated Venusian qualities. So for sudden financial gain, if that is getting applicable or it is getting qualified in your case, month of April can actually give you some windfall gain for sure. If you have those yogas, you are in that line and your dashas are also promising it. So transit is definitely supporting that. Now guys, in the month of June, as you can see that your 4th house and your 9th house lord planet Venus is going to get conjunct with Jupiter in its own house in the 4th house. So again, for the domestic life related matters, like renovation, organizing some religious gathering, or renovating your home, or some good auspicious news in the family, we can expect in the month of like June. Moving ahead guys, now pertaining to the matters of your 5th house, which tells about your academic interest, which tells about your intellect, love, romance, spiritual interest, mantra sadhana and all. So the points which I have written over here is that intuitive faculties will dominate your thought process this year. Definitely guys, because in your 5th house you will find the energy of the planet Mercury, and over and above that, the other sign being ruled by the planet Mercury, which in your case falls in the 8th house, and over and above that, during this whole year, Ketu is going to be transiting over there. That is the only reason I mentioned this thing, that when we talk about your 5th house, your intuitive faculties will dominate your thought process this year. Very good year for those planning for a child. So definitely guys, if you have inclination or you're planning for a childbirth and all, next year seems to be promising for that. Now I'm mentioning this thing, I'm saying this thing because in a way Jupiter's presence in the 4th house somehow cannot be restricted only to the 4th house related matters. 4th house in a way encapsulates all the matters of the domestic life. So definitely, whether you getting married, your children getting married, or arrival of a new member in the family, so many things get promised when Jupiter is transiting from over there. So that is the only reason I mentioned this thing. It's also a very promising supporting year for planning a child. People in stock market have to be careful and meticulous. Good year for research, mantra sadhana. Advisable, it's much advisable to refrain from hedonism and overindulgence, because as you know that your ascendant Lord Saturn, a discipline loving planet, is transiting in your first house, and with the influence of Ketu in the 8th house, Rahu in the second house. And I'm very much sure that Rahu being in the second house will definitely kind of create all this temptation towards, you know, spoiling your eating habits, drinking habits and all of that. So you have to follow proper discipline, and you have to refrain from hedonism and overindulgence during this year. Now guys, definitely we have to see that in which all months your fifth house lord is going to be forming some Raj Yoga, getting conjunct with other planets. So in the month of March, your fifth house lord planet Mercury is going to get conjunct with Saturn, your ascendant lord, in the first house. So the month of March is definitely coming out to be very strong. Some strong speculative gains, or because of or using your charm, your elegance, your intelligence, you can suddenly be in the limelight. Or if you have to give any performance, scheduling it in the month of March, launching any product, or any of your expansive anticipated goals and all. So the month of March will seem to be very favorable for all of that, execution of your goals or public performances and all of that. Along with that guys, in the month of June, as you can see that your fifth house lord and the eighth house lord planet Mercury is going to get conjunct with Jupiter, and it is going to be also transiting from your fourth house and fifth house. So again guys, I would say that the fifth house lord being strengthened in the fifth house is a very good news, specifically for the students or people who have any of the academic aspirations and all of that. Now guys, in the month of October, as you can see that your fifth house and your eighth house lord is going to be transiting from your 8th house and the 9th house. So definitely guys, for all those people who are connected with the fields of insurance, revenue, or problem solving, coding and all of that, the month of October will seems to be very favorable for all of that. Now guys, when we talk about the matters of your 6th house, so now guys, over here, as you can see that in the 6th house you will find the energy of the Cancer, and that is the only reason that why Aquarians are considered as the true philanthropic of the whole zodiac belt, because their heart, their emotions somehow kind of empathize for the pain and suffering of others. So the points which I have mentioned for your 6th house, while taking into consideration the whole theme of next year, is that for those who are currently in the period of Sade Sati. Now again guys, understand this thing here, Saturn is transiting in your first house, but Sade Sati always gets calculated from your moon sign. So let's say for example, with all this alignment, your moon sign is Aquarius, your moon sign is Capricorn or Pisces. So that means you are also in the Sade Sati as well. So along with having a Aquarius rising, along with from moon, you are also qualifying for the Sade Sati. Or let's say for example, your Saturn moon is active in the Dasha. This could be within the Mahadasha of Saturn, under Dasha of moon, or within the Mahadasha of moon, sub period of the Saturn. So if anyway these two eligibilities are also getting applicable, then I would say that the daily life or work environment might become very overbearing this year for lot many Aquarius rising natives. And guys, when it comes down to the matters of your health or enemies or loans, I'm not seeing you vulnerable, because your ascendant lord is strengthened. Jupiter is also playing a very significant role for you, so it is definitely going to be protecting you, safeguarding you. But how much you'll be able to handle the pressure, so all of that will be dependent on that, whether all these things are getting applicable or not. Sade Sati or Saturn moon or moon Saturn period tend to remain very kind of stress giving, so that vulnerability will still remain. Moving ahead guys, now for all the matters of your 7th house, which tells about your public image, association and the concerns of the marriage and all. So the points which I have mentioned over here is that with your ascendant lord straight aspect, with your ascendant lord giving its straight aspect to your 7th house, year supports marriage, especially traditional or arranged ones. Enhancement of public image if you are in public service, and successful association. So I will repeat, with your ascendant lord's straight aspect, year support marriage, especially the ones who are going for traditional or arranged marriage. Enhancement of public image, definitely those people who are in public service will stand a stronger chance, and also some very successful harmonious association as well are also on the cards for the Aquarius rising natives. Now guys, when we and also we have to see that in which all months your 7th house lord planet sun is going to be getting conjunct with other planets, forming some sort of Raj Yoga. So April mid onwards, your 7th house lord planet sun is going to get exalted in your 3rd house. And it is going to be the same time when Mars is also going to be transiting in your 1st house. So definitely guys, as you can see that your 10th house lord is transiting in the 1st house, and your 7th house lord is also exalted in your 3rd house. So I would say this thing that somehow for people who are like self-employed in performing arts, any of your important projects which you want to initiate, the mid-April onwards time seems to be very favorable for you. Mid-August onwards guys, as you can see that sun is going to be transiting in your 7th house in its own house, and Mars is going to be transiting in your 4th house. So I would say this thing that that is also going to be a very good time period, because whenever sun gets accentuated in the 7th house, and because there is going to be opposition of sun and Saturn in the mid of August. So a lot many times it has been seen that this mutual aspect, and when planets are in a strengthened state in their respective houses, it makes us very responsible, very accountable, answerable. So I would say that whether you are in public service or pertaining to your duty towards the society, towards your spouse, your partner, the mid-August onwards will seem to be very favorable. Like if you want to do something where you want to enhance your public image, or you want to somehow remain very much accountable, responsible for or towards your family duties and responsibilities, so mid-August onwards you will be tested, or opportunities or right set of circumstances will drive you in these directions. After that guys, when we talk about the matters of your 8th house, so definitely 8th house and studying it in the yearly transit becomes very important, because unexpected or sudden problems generally creeps out of the 8th house only. But guys, during this year you are somehow heading towards some very kind of very awakening kind of experiences, because as you can see that during this year in your 8th house Ketu is going to be transiting. But the beauty lies over here is that once Jupiter will transit to your 4th house, it will start giving its 5th aspect to your 8th house, or in a way it will activate your Ketu in your 8th house. So the points which I have mentioned for the matters of your 8th house is that from May 2024 onwards, with Jupiter's 5th aspect, Ketu in your 8th house will get activated, which will suddenly spike your interest in mantra, tantra, psychology and the matters of life and death. Very good year for explorers and researchers. Now guys, when we talk about the matters of the 8th house, so as you can see over here that we have to see that in which all months your 8th house lord is going to be getting conjunct with other planets, forming some sort of Raj Yogas. So in the month of March, as you can see that your 8th house lord is going to get conjunct with Saturn in your 1st house. So if you are a researcher, explorer, working in the fields of occult or revenue or something, so definitely all of your findings or your insight or deeper psychological findings will definitely reward you or put you on the limelight in the month of March. In the month of June, your 8th house lord is going to get conjunct with Jupiter, and it will also transit from your 4th house and the 5th house. So again guys, the month of June can actually give you some sudden good return on the investments as well. And in the month of October, your 8th house is going to get accentuated with Mercury being placed in its own sign. It is going to get exalted in the 8th house. So again guys, that is the only reason I am at many scientists and researchers with this kind of, or specifically with the Aquarius rising. So if you have those interests, scientific interest, or you are engaged in any of the scientific pursuit, so you can actually make some breakthrough in this month, in the month of like October. Now guys, moving ahead, now when we talk about the matters of your 9th house, which tells about your faith, which tells about your pilgrimages, your overseas interest, concerns, and like immigration related matters and all. So what I have written over here is that pertaining to the matters of the 9th house next year, many will be lured towards opportunities in their homeland, or will try to find success near to their residing area. So it will be possible for many. So guys, like the way I mentioned this thing, because it is not a rare phenomena, like I'm sorry, I mean to say it is not a very usual thing, because as you can see, with Saturn being in your first house and Jupiter being in your fourth house, both of these two houses somehow tells about our homeland, our birthplace and all of that. And just because a lot many times what happen is that see, all those people who are in stable 9 to 5 job, they do not have to worry about that, but there are those professionals, or there are like those occupations where you have to kind of migrate from one place, from one job, from one location to another location. But somehow the way planets are behaving right now, this could be as much as easy for like people generally who contest elections, or who like they zero in to any of the targeted zone where they can encash on their popularity and all. So I would say that this year is actually creating that kind of energy where a lot many people will be lured towards opportunities in their homeland, or finding success near to your residing area will be possible for many. So next year's energy is not creating that energy and that yoga of aimless wandering. Whatever you will be eyeing for, that will be much within your reach. Along with that, guys, religious austerities and pilgrimages will add happiness to family life, or facilitate many auspicious events in the domestic life. Along with that, guys, practical experience and hard work will be your only two mentor this year. So again, guys, with Saturn in your first house being your ascendant lord, the energy of the whole year of number 8, again the prominence of the planet like Saturn, and with the calculation of the Samvatsar with the Mars coming in play. So that is the only reason I mentioned this thing, that practical experience, you have to put your hands, you have to get your hands dirty and learn something. And even if you want to learn via hit and trial, via making mistakes, next year will support that, rather than staying out of the mess and thinking about that someone else will come and he will spoon feed you. So practical experience and hard work will be your only two mentors or your teachers next year. Again, guys, we have to see that in which all months your 9th house lord in the transit is going to be forming some sort of Raj Yoga. So guys, as you can see that in your case, in the 9th house, you will find the energy of the planet Venus, which is your Yogaraka planet as well. So in the month of March, Venus is going to get conjunct with Saturn in your first house. So definitely, guys, any of the travels will prove to be very favorable. The charm and elegance in your personality will connect you with lot many opportunities. So the month of March is very favorable. In the month of April, it's a very good news, as I mentioned before as well, that your 4th house lord and your 9th house lord is going to get exalted in your 2nd house, along with conjunction with Rahu will amplify its qualities. So I would say that in the month of April, a lot many Aquarius rising natives will stand a chance for some sudden speculative financial gains. So not only because of their hard work, you could say that their charm, their elegance, their well-mannered behavior, or good spoken skills, or this could be the touch of the luck or divinity, whatever you call it. But yes, the month of April is actually creating some very strong and positive yoga of some sudden windfall gain for many Aquarius rising natives. And again, guys, in the month of June, as you can see that Venus is going to get conjunct with Jupiter in your 4th house. So Venus being placed and accentuated in its own sign, and with the support coming in from the planet Jupiter. So definitely, guys, like the month of June can actually witness some sort of important events or auspicious lifetime events in your family life. Purchase of new vehicle or indulging in luxury and all can be experienced by many. Now, guys, when we talk about the matters of your 10th house, so again, as you can see that in your 10th house, you will find the energy of the Scorpio. Next whole year, like Saturn is definitely giving its 10th aspect, and Jupiter will also start giving its aspect to your 10th house as well. So because of the dual aspect coming in this house, one thing is for sure, guys, that and not only that, the sum total of the 2024 will also give you number 8, so which is falling in your 10th house. So the points which I mentioned is that your 10th house is receiving dual aspect from both Saturn and Jupiter this year, along with the universal air vibration of number 8. So that means year will be filled with immense possibilities for your career growth. Very good year for politicians and those incumbent in top corporate positions. And definitely guys, we have to see that in which all months your 10th house lord is going to get conjunct with other planets, forming some sort of Raj Yoga. So in the month of March, as you can see that your 10th house lord planet Mars is going to get exalted in your 12th house. So definitely guys, any of your overseas interest will actually witness some rapid progress or success in the month of March. In the month of April, your 10th house lord Mars is going to get conjunct with Saturn in your first house. So definitely you will be at your competitive best in the month of April. And for any of your political interest, or you're connected with real estate or working as a realtor, or trying to innovate your life, taking some important innovative steps in your line of work and all, the month of April will support you. And also guys, in the month of May, Mars is going to get conjunct with Rahu. Your 10th house lord is going to get conjunct with Rahu in the second house. So in the month of May, you have to remain very cautious, very careful the kind of words you speak at your work front. And second thing is that try not to act very greedy in the matters of money, or try not to force any unrealistic change in your financial portfolio. That is all what I can say for the month of May, when your 10th house lord is going to get conjunct with the Rahu in the second house. And also guys, in the month of July and August, as you can see that your 10th house lord is going to get conjunct with Jupiter in the 4th house. So very good news for people who are in the fields of politics, public service, construction, real estate, buying and selling of vehicles and all of that. Now guys, when we talk about the matters of your 11th house, so definitely over here you will find the energy of the Sagittarius. 11th house tells about your friends, your networking, all those steps and everything which you need to do to find success in the society, in the world. So the points which I mentioned for your 11th house is that friends, connections, your networking will play a significant role this year in closing important deals or creating an impact in your line of work. People in public service with exceptional track record might also get rewarded for their contributions. Now guys, when we talk about the matters of your 12th house, which tells about your overseas interest, self-introspection, prophetic dreams, psychic awareness. So a very good year for self-introspection, investments and spiritualism, because your 12th house lord is strengthened in the first house. A lot many will be inclined towards self-help programs, philanthropy and humanitarian works. So friends, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For furthermore updates and notification, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.